She was seconds away from destroying everything. After years of hard work, sleepless nights, and working her way up from a basement in Colorado to the most powerful building on earth, Dana Perino walked into her boss's office, ready to quit. She had practiced what she would say. She had made peace with giving up, and then her boss spoke first. What he said next changed her life forever and showed her a truth about success that most people never understand. It was 2007, and Dana Perino was exhausted. She had been working really hard hours at the White House as deputy press secretary. The stress was eating her alive. She was not sleeping well. She was not eating properly. Every day felt like a battle she was losing. So she made a decision. She was going to walk into Ed Gillespie's office, the director of communications, and she was going to resign. She had practiced what she would say. She approached Ed after a meeting and said, "Can I see you after the communications meeting?" Ed nodded and replied, "Yes, I need to talk to you too." When they sat down, Dana was ready to deliver her resignation, but Ed spoke first. "The president would like to announce you as press secretary on Friday." Dana sat there, in complete shock. The job she had dreamed about since childhood was being handed to her at the exact moment she was about to throw it all away. Ed Gillespie did not learn that Dana had come to quit until years later when he read her memoir. Dana Marie Perino was born on May 9, 1972, in Evanston, Wyoming. Her family moved to Denver when she was young, and she grew up in Parker, Colorado. But every summer she returned to her grandparents' cattle ranch in Wyoming, where she collected eggs, opened gates for cattle, and hunted for dinosaur fossils. Those summers taught her hard work before she even understood what those words meant. Her father, Leo, owned a convenience store, but was obsessed with politics. Starting in 3rd grade, Dana and her sister had to read 2 newspapers every day and discuss articles before dinner. While other kids watched cartoons, Dana rushed home from early church to watch political talk shows. Her mother, Jan, worked in marketing, but also helped settle refugees fleeing the Soviet Union. At 7 years old, Dana visited the White House during the Carter administration, watching July 4th fireworks over the Washington Monument on the flight home. She fell in love with the nation's capital. Dana earned her bachelor's degree in mass communications from Colorado State University, Pueblo, in 1994. Then she got a master's degree in public affairs reporting from the University of Illinois, Springfield. She covered the state capitol for a CBS affiliate called WCIA. Then she moved to Washington, D.C., and reality hit hard. Her first job was answering phones as a staff assistant for Congressman Scott McGinnis from Colorado. She was basically a secretary. The White House podium seemed impossibly far away. She worked her way up to become press secretary for Congressman Don Schaefer. She did that job for almost 4 years. Then in 1998, Schaefer announced he was retiring. Dana had no job, no plan, no idea what came next. The story of how Dana met her husband sounds like something from a movie. On August 17, 1997, both Dana and a British man named Peter McMahon were running late for a flight from Denver to Chicago. They became the last 2 passengers to board the plane. By pure chance, they were assigned 2 seats right next to each other. Seat 13A and Seat 13C. Peter was walking down the jetway behind Dana. He later said he was walking behind this cute little blonde with her ponytail swinging, and he hoped he would sit beside her. When Dana saw him, she made a quick assessment. She thought, "Oh, he is cute, and he is not wearing a wedding ring, and he has a British accent." They talked for 2.5 hours straight. When they landed, Dana gave him a card with all her contact information. Then she waited. 10 agonizing days passed with no word from Peter. Then finally his email arrived, but the obstacles seemed impossible to overcome. Dana was 25 years old. Peter was 43. There was an 18-year age gap between them. He had been married twice before. He had 2 children from previous relationships, and he lived in England. Less than a year after they met, Peter proposed impulsively. Tony Snow was the White House press secretary, and he was brilliant at the job. But he had colon cancer. In 2007, his health forced him to resign. On his final day, Tony Snow stood behind Dana. He was 6'5" tall. She was only 5 feet. He placed his hands on her shoulders and said words she has never forgotten. "You are better at this than you think you are." On September 14, 2007, Dana Perino became the 26th White House press secretary. She was the first Republican woman ever to hold the position. Tony Snow died on July 12, 2008. Dana conducted 155 press briefings during her time as White House press secretary. She served from September 2007 until the final day of the Bush administration on January 20, 2009. From the outside, she looked calm and composed, but behind the scenes, things were very different. She developed what she describes as an almost telepathic relationship with President George W. Bush. The most dramatic moment came on December 14, 2008. President Bush was on his farewell trip to Baghdad. During a press conference, an Iraqi journalist named Montadar al-Zadi stood up and threw both of his shoes at the president. Bush ducked the shoes with surprising reflexes. But in the chaos, a Secret Service agent knocked over a microphone stand. The steel arm whipped around and struck Dana just under her right eye. The impact gave her a black eye. In spring 2012, Dana got a Hungarian Vizsla puppy named Jasper. This was 2 months after her first dog, Henry, had died at 14 years old. Jasper appeared regularly on The Five. He became a celebrity with his own fan base. People called him America's dog. But on September 4, 2021, at 12:40 in the afternoon, Jasper died. He was only 9 years old. Cancer had spread through his body fast. Dana was shattered. Just weeks after Jasper died, a new puppy was born on September 22, 2021. His name is Percy, in December 2024. Something historic happened in cable news. A show that does not even air during prime time became the most watched program on all of cable television. That show is called The Five, and the woman at the center of it all is Dana Perino. The Five pulled in over 4 million viewers in the final quarter of 2024. Dana Perino took risks her whole life. She talked to a stranger on an airplane and married him. She took the boring assignments nobody wanted and ended up at the White House podium. That is the real Dana Perino.